Hey there, guys, it's Drew. I want to do a quick video blog and I'd like to talk about who the candidate is for Christians in America. Okay, because lately, if you've been watching politics, you've been seeing that a lot of the news that has been coming out lately has been having, Christian supporters of Donald Trump questioning why they should support him any further. First of all, you know, as a Christian myself, all right, I want to make it clear I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to judge the level of your faith. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to, make you question your faith, okay? I'm here to just insert a little bit of discernment. That word discernment is used a lot in our faith. I'm here to insert a little bit of discernment into this kind of conversation here, okay? Let's first start with the accusations, okay? Now, Trump basically explained that his wealth and that his fame allows him to quote unquote grope women. He was in a joking manner. He was talking behind the scenes, and his conversation was picked up. And he was basically saying that his position, his powerful position of fame and wealth, extreme wealth, allows him to have his way with women. Now, are those words that every upstanding man would condone? Probably not. It's not the most moral thing to say, but he's kind of right, though. I mean, his fame and his wealth in this country allows him to have his way with women. Now it's transformed into this thing of sexual assault. Where where they're making it like it's unwanted. No, he's saying that because he's a celebrity, they allow him to do that. That's what I interpreted, at least. Okay, but either way, is it presidential talk? No, it's not, and it's not exactly the greatest thing ever that he said that. But at the end of the day, do I think that it makes him a horrible human being? No. Okay. Um, and really, as a Christian, we're not really supposed to judge who's horrible and who's not, especially if they come clean, if they come forward and they apologize for it and they're sincere about it, and they have good intent and they mean well, then you're supposed to exude some kind of forgiveness. Okay, so let's go into his other activities as well, because people like to call Trump a racist. They like to call him xenophobic and Islamophobic and so forth. All right. I want you guys to think back in your Bibles in the times that the Old Testament as well as the New Testament, right? God has always backed certain kings. Remember King David and King Saul, right? He's always backed nations that have been in conflict. He's always backed nations that have bloodshed. He's always backed leaders that are not exactly 100% saints. None of us are. We all sin. We're all born into the flesh of sin, and we all sin. So I'm not saying or making any kind of excuse for either Trump or Hillary Clinton, but I'm saying as a Christian, you really have to analyze this, okay? You have to really think about this. It's not really about their personal character so much so, but something that tells me that Trump is definitely the Christian candidate and the candidate for Christians is that he wants to expand Christianity. He wants to put Christmas back into public circulation and language. Whereas, as seen in the WikiLeaks emails, Hillary Clinton wants to fracture the church. And this is what a lot of people who are Satanists or people who are control freaks, this is what they go for first. They go for religion and they go for faith, because if you have faith and you have religion outside of yourself, it's not always the easiest thing to submit to the state. You see what I'm saying? What Hillary Clinton wants to do is that, and what her establishment donors want to do, is they want to separate you from your faith in God so that you replace God with this state. You see what I'm saying? I know exactly what she's doing, but it came out in the WikiLeaks emails that this is exactly what she wants to do. So this makes Donald Trump the candidate for Christians. Now, he's not perfect, just like King David wasn't perfect. I'm sure every single one of God's servants had their shortcomings. But what God does have for many of his servants, if you've seen it, if you this is your faith and you understand it and you've read the Bible, he's got an endless amount of forgiveness. And, of course, he's not mocked. And of course, they pay prices for their lack of obedience and their lack of ability to follow his law. But you've noticed that God's forgiveness and loving kindness is endless if you're, a follower of the Christian faith. Okay, so don't let these, accusations and distractions come out that have come out, make you declare Trump as anti-Christian. Okay. In addition, one of the main things that God also doesn't like is when people use uneven weights and scales. The polls, for example, those are uneven weights and scales. Another thing is bearing false witness against your neighbor. The Clintons know that, and his accusers know that Trump most likely did not sexually assault these women. In fact, one of the women even invited him to a restaurant afterwards. So there's just, and then the other one has ties, confirmed ties, pictures, and phone number to the Clinton Foundation. So that's bearing false witness against your neighbor. Another thing is that, for all Trump's, quote unquote, immoral behavior and whatnot, and things that people don't like about him and his foul mouth behavior, you know, God can do a lot more with somebody like that who's repentant and who is focused on actually making a difference. Okay. I really believe, honestly, in my opinion, that he's being built up for this position from a religious and from a faith standpoint. That's what I believe. I believe that, light is being shown on his deeds as well, so that, people know that he's just a man, that he's not to be worshiped and he's not to be glorified, and all the glory goes to God. So if you're coming at this election from a religious standpoint, leave no doubt in your mind that Trump is definitely the Christian candidate here. Okay, everything that the Clintons support, from abortion to fracturing the church to all these other things that are questionable, are spreading of really demonic things. So if you want to, okay, now some people are going to get at me for my thought on abortion, but at the end of the day, abortion is killing of babies. Okay, it is what it is. They can call it right to choose. They can call it whatever they want, but it's the killing of babies. And I've never met, and also for women who say that you can't say that if you're a man, I don't have a woman's body. Okay, I'll never know what it's like to hold a human being close to me in my body, that's part of me forever. Okay, I'll never, I know for 9 months, I'll never know that. Okay, but I do know that most women with a heart, unless there was like a rape, or there was some kind of terrible situation that they were in, some ridiculous situation, most women with a heart do not want to do that. They feel something terribly wrong about severing the tie with their child. They build a close bond with their child that's growing inside them. Okay, so most women with a heart don't want that. When I hear women say, "It's my body, I can do whatever I want," is that a logical argument to make? Yes, but as I lose respect for women who talk like that, because it's like you're supposed to have a mother's instinct. Okay, and instead of you perpetuating that softness and that care and that love that is supposed to come from you as a woman, you're perpetuating, you know, murder of your own child for the sake of selfishness, or for the sake of saying that it's your body, I can do whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's like a child's argument, to be honest with you. That's what I believe. So anyway, people may not like what I'm saying here, but this is really a message to the Christian people who are following Trump and following this election. Don't be swayed by the distractions that the Clinton administration and the Clinton Foundation are financing. Don't be distracted, okay? They're trying to, you know, have open borders. They're trying to have, my phone's ringing. They're trying to have American sovereignty be sold out. They might even bring us into a war with Russia. Logically, religiously, Trump is the Christian choice. Period. That's all I got to say. God bless. Peace.